then you need to do a simple calculation of what your burn rate is. Your burn rate is how much money do you spend in any given month or any given year to live, to survive, to take care of yourself and the people that depend on you, your partner, your children, the people that you get the privilege to support, and then subtract from that your passive income. And you may not have very much of that right now. And if your conclusion from tonight is one of painful revelation that you need some passive income, well, great. But you just take your net worth, divide by your burn rate minus your passive income, and you get the number of months that you can survive without working. So let's say that you had a $1 million net worth, you spend 500K per year, and you make 100K per year in passive income. You do $1 million divided by 500 minus 100. That is 2.5 years of wealth. You could, last 2.5 years without working and sustain your current burn rate. Does that make sense to everyone so far?
It's a very different way of thinking about wealth, right? It's very different than say like the 4% withdrawal. It's very different than saying like someone has to have a very, very high net worth, because you can modulate any of the three variables in this equation. You can modulate how much stored wealth you have in terms of net worth. You can modulate your burn rate, which is how much you spend in a year, and you can modulate your passive income. So it's a very different way of thinking about wealth. And we really like it because you can think about how can you optimize each of those variables. And you'll see as we go through the next several slides here, you'll see how burn rate and passive income are much more important than net worth, which is kind of opposite of what's typically taught in financial circles. In financial circles, there's really a push to grow your net worth, really celebrate when you hit that millionaire status, kind of keep going, keep going. And I'm elated to see in our culture a little bit of a shift, right? With Bill Perkins, who wrote Die with Zero, to say, we often die with our peak wealth. Like, how sad is that, right? We don't get to enjoy our wealth or even see the impact that our wealth will or could create in the lives of our children, our grandchildren, the charities that we want to support. And so instead of thinking of net worth as the goal that we're chasing, we think of these three variables and, more importantly, the relationship to each other and how that creates days and years of wealth. So think about how many days can you live without working, and then the way to calculate that is just jot down a number.